Well, what a 24 hours. Again, it feels like every time I do these videos with you guys that we're talking about an insane 24 hours for everyone holding cryptocurrency, but this one really was. Everyone eagerly anticipating those tariff news coming out and the market to completely send. Well, guess what? We got the tariff news. Market didn't quite do what we thought. Or did it? I'm going to break down some key things you need to aware about, a massive news coming out of Coinbase, and more importantly, what did Paul Atkins have to say specifically about crypto? We'll break it all down for you in this video, as we do every day, all the latest and greatest in cryptocurrency news, reviews, technical analysis, and brand new projects coming to the blockchain. So go ahead, hit that like and subscribe button, and don't forget, turn your notification bell on every day, 4 p.m. Eastern. We're live streaming. Make sure you're ahead of the game. Right, that's enough of that. Let's get into the video. So I will double back on the chart. Look at this, a big wick down, perfectly hitting the range that we've had on this chart now for about 3 weeks. And importantly enough, the bounce strong coming off that, but more on the charts in just a minute. So let's double down on exactly what we got today. So we obviously got those news from the tariffs, of which China and US have kind of agreed a deal for the next 90 days. It seems like a number we like to use. The markets kind of didn't do what we thought. We thought we'd get a much bigger move, but the longer term is very optimistic. Paul Atkins also had his next big crypto roundtable talking specifically about tokenization and, more importantly, regulation by enforcement, or, well, what a better way to put it, the end of regulation by enforcement. Now, I'm not going to go through the full meeting. What I would summarize and say, Paul Atkins was incredibly bullish about Bitcoin. And in fact, he was really about, quote, crafting a rational regulatory framework tailored to the digital asset markets. Now, we've seen a number of institutions, Metaplanet once again buying some more Bitcoin, Michael Saylor buying over $1 billion, exactly as I said was going to happen to this last week. He, again, buying even more. And this all plays out into what Paul Atkins has been entrusted with, which is delivering a framework in which regulation and cryptocurrency can foster. And I think this is very much going in the right direction. We heard Esther Pierce talking about tokenization as well. So these are all good news stories, all on the backdrop of those Trump tariffs. So what did we get? Well, the reality is we saw a significant bubble around 100K with institutional inflows and macro tailwinds. What does this mean? Well, the inflows continued. BlackRock once again buying over 3,500 Bitcoin today, continually stacking their bag. It's about $360 million that they did buy. But Jerome Powell now coming out to talk about monetary policy on Friday as well. So although Bitcoin had a bit of a rough day, I think this was all expectation on high deals with the trade deals. And it didn't quite play out like that, but still very, very optimistic. This is why we're now predicting that we could see Bitcoin over 110,000. I've been talking about this for this week. And the reason I would say that is institutions still bought aggressively today, even after that trade deal news. There is a big announcement I'm going to break to you in just a second. And more importantly, we have a gradual end of consolidation, which we've been talking about on the chart for a while. The breakout is upon us, and actually we moved with significant volume to the upside. You can see here, analysts are talking about this breakout, and more importantly, this demand zone, 101 to 102, which we are perfectly in, potentially even. The 103 level is what we're looking for the breakout, which could be coming in the next few days. This, again, is a key thing. Price target, though, 110 with a 20% chance of playing out. Obviously, we need a few more macro things to happen, one of which could well be this. Coinbase joining the S&P 500. Now, you may say, well, but this isn't a big deal. Like, we know that, companies join the S&P 500, strategy, for example, but Coinbase has an access point. Coinbase is an app that many people use and generally go to as the first, dip into the cryptocurrency market. What you're going to get here is massive adoption, and you're going to get new people looking to get it. In fact, interestingly enough, the spike on Google searches for Ethereum spelt with an I have absolutely skyrocketed. What does this tell us? New investors looking to get into the market. This obviously could be very, very bullish long term. But the company to be included in the S&P 500 must meet certain strict conditions set by the S&P Dow Jones indices. First, the company must be headquartered in the United States, obvious, and American-based company, and generally expect to have a market capitalization of at least $15 billion. Coinbase hitting all of those. So watch out for that. And then that dovetails on this. It's not really a video without a chart. And I do want you to think about this. M2 liquidity. We've talked about it a lot of times. Countries are printing. The Fed may even start to talk about this in Jerome Powell's speech on Friday. But look at the correlation between Bitcoin and the M2. Remember, there is a delay on the M2, but it's following perfectly. Even the slight corrections. When we turn the money printers off, Well, guess what? This is showcasing us. We are going much higher. This is 110, 120, maybe even 150 if we can continue this upside move. So watch out. Some volatility, which we said was going to come. What I would absolutely double back on, though, is a key support that the price action held perfectly on these charts. So watch out. I think tomorrow could be another good day. And actually, if we can close out today, that'll be even more bullish as well. So let me know what you think of all of this in the comments down below. Let me know what you think of the Coinbase going to the S&P 500. And also let me know what your Bitcoin price target is. Basically, just put a comment down there. It'd be great. As always, thanks so much for watching. We appreciate your time. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.